Hey, Baba, happy Sunday. Hope everyone is doing well. Um, Everyone ready for late night chat? All right, great. Does everyone miss Jeff in India? I miss him. I'm pretty sure everyone in Myrtle Beach misses him, and I'm sure all of his late night chat family misses him. Hope everyone's day went well.
You guys have been doing a great job, Peter, I will say.
Thank you. It's been fun. It's been an honor. It's been a little tiring. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I'll be honest. I mean, for the most part, I'm zoomed out. There was just so much Zoom over COVID, and there's nothing like real person face-to-face connections. I mean, I can't wait until you come. You said you're coming to Myrtle Beach soon, right, Betty? And or was that maybe it was Diane Terry? I forget. Like it was on one of those. Someone said they're coming to Myrtle Beach in December. I think that was Diane Terry. That's right. But you should come to Myrtle Beach sometime soon too, Betty.
Me too, Peter.
Oh, Tina too.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, Tina. Yes.
It's gonna be old home week. Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Great. That's awesome. All right. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share for tonight? Any sharing? Sharing is caring, like they say. Tony, would you like to play a song or do a poem or Tina, would you like to do a song? You're so musically.
Yeah, I'm so tired though.
Okay. Would you like to read us a bedtime story?
I'm not prepared.
It's all good. Okay.
Time story, but
who would like to share? Who would like to share what's on their mind? What they've been thinking about, just life in general.
Baba Zoom is always great.
Yes, that is so true. Yes. Go, Carol. Would you like to share? Do you have any stories, any jokes, any poetry? When you met Baba, did you ever joke around with him, or did he ever tell you jokes, or like was it like, or did you play games with Baba ever, like marbles or like ping pong or cricket?
No, I was too young when I first met Baba. I was only 7.5.
Okay.
And then subsequently 3 years later, when I was almost 11. So
I see.
Yeah, and aside from taking his darshan and just being in his presence for a few minutes, I really had no other interaction with him. So yeah, aside from him telling me how big you've grown, in the 3 years, that was it.
At that point, like when you were 7, and then like when you were 7 at first, did you take Baba to be like a grandpa type figure, or like an uncle? Or
no, not at all.
You knew he was God.
Yes,
at that point.
Because I was Minu's daughter, and our home was the Baba Center in Karachi. And every month we had a Baba meeting where, the group would come, assemble, and we would do Baba's artis, and Dad would, of course, give a talk, and others would contribute too. I knew from get-go that Baba was God. So there was no doubt in my mind. And then in 62, when I actually saw him for the first time, that feeling, that enthusiasm, that excitement was so great that it was, in my little mind and heart, it was just bubbling over. So when I first laid eyes on him, I couldn't believe I was actually in the presence of God himself. So that was like overwhelming to me as a little child.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Gilbert. Bob, I see you have your hands up. Would you like to share anything?
Yeah, I've never shared this before, so I'll give it a try. It's a prose poem that I wrote, I don't know, some time ago. If Meher Baba asked me, had I anything to ask, I hope without thinking too much, I'd have enough sense to say something completely senseless like, beloved Lord, next time you're walking around the fair and you get hungry, maybe you'll buy a corn dog. Let me be that. and I hope you enjoy it. Then I'll be a corn dog without the corn or the dog. So the only thing left is the stick. And instead of throwing it away, please put it in your pocket. You could use it for anything. Stir your morning coffee, retrieve the coin that rolled under the stove, spread peanut butter when all the knives are in the dishwasher, scrape the mud off your shoes after gardening. And when the stick is finally worn beyond any use, what then, beloved? Then I will not ask, because I will not care, caring at long last for your wish alone. Jai Baba.
Jay Baba, thank you, Bob.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Bob. That was awesome. Very good. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share? Any stories, any thoughts that are on your mind? Anything they'd like to give to Baba? If Baba was here with you, what would you give to him? That's an interesting question. If Baba was at the table with you, what would you bring to Baba? What dish would you bring to him? What would you make for Baba?
Okay, can I chime in there?
Yes, please.
The most celebratory dish that we would make for anyone's birthday in the Zoroastrian faith and in our culture would be Baba's favorite dish, which was dal and rice. And we called it thandar in our Gujarati, so I would make thandar for him, definitely. And I would make rava for him. Rava is also a celebratory sweet dish that we make on any good occasion, for a birthday or weddings or any good occasion. And Baba always liked rava too, and he served it many times to his mandli and to close ones. So those two dishes definitely I would serve him. What would I give him? I would give him my whole self, which I already have. So that would be my gift to him. So, yeah.
Beautiful. What a gift. That's so awesome. Just to give him your whole
Oh,
self.
I wish we could taste it. Go ahead.
Yes.
Oh.
And that rice and dal dish sounds amazing. I did hear he didn't. I heard different things. I think I heard he didn't really like very spicy dal. Is that true? Like,
Right. So this dal that I'm mentioning is the very mild, non-spicy dal. It just has a little flavoring of garlic and salt in it. That's it. And cumin, garlic and cumin. Those are the only two spices, which are not spicy.
no.
So that's what it's flavored with, right?
That
And it's
sounds,
served with white rice. Yeah.
that sounds really good.
Yes.
Right. Dinku, I see Dinku has her hand up. Dinku, good morning. I guess it's morning where you are.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Go ahead. I also thought of the same thing, but I was thinking of rava, that if Baba were here, I would definitely serve him rava. And every time I make it, I always say, Baba, this is for you.
That's right.
That's
That's it.
beautiful.
Can you describe what rava? I know it's simple. What are the ingredients?
It's semolina. You boil milk, and then you add the semolina and sugar, and sometimes I add a little bit of vanilla extract,
Yes.
and you just boil it until it thickens. And then sometimes we add, Goy, what is charoli?
Charoli is it's a spice, I think, isn't it? But it's a flavoring spice.
No,
but
there's little beads.
yeah, I normally I have a very simple recipe for rava. So you take butter and you saute the semolina in it first, like half a cup.
Yeah.
And I take 2 eggs, 2 cups of milk, some sugar, maybe half a cup or to your taste, and whir that in a blender and add vanilla to that. So you're making your custard on the side in a blender. And after you saute the semolina, you slowly add this custard mixture, and you keep stirring till it thickens. And once it thickens, you take it off the stove and pour it into another dish. And then you top it with raisins and almonds, which have also been sauteed in a little ghee or butter. And you put that on the top. And that's how you serve it. Oh, and I also add a little flavoring of, let's see, nutmeg and cardamom,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
which is
Powdered nutmeg and cardamom. Yeah.
right.
I
and that-
forgot about sauteing the rava in the butter. That's what I do, but I don't
Yeah.
use eggs.
Yeah, and that gives it that distinctive rava taste.
Yeah.
I think semolina would be like cream of wheat cereal.
It is, but the very fine cream of wheat, Betty. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I make it all the time. I could make it in my sleep. So I wish I could have all of you taste it.
Oh, I wish.
That sounds amazing.
It
Next time you
does.
come-
I'm hungry now.
Yes, yeah, same here. Next time you come to Myrtle Beach, I would love to taste it if you make
Yes.
it.
Next time I'm at the center, I'll make it for you, Peter.
Yes.
No
Oh,
problem.
thank you, Goher.
Okay.
So
It-
if I may, so I don't really cook.
Mhm.
And when we go to Baba's birthday celebration, when they still had them in New York, Zeke is a wonderful cook, and if she just throws something together, it was brilliant. We would bring it. But before we were married, this is what came to mind. I thought it'd be too weird to share, but it's the really thing that came to mind. I would get a big pizza. A big pizza from the best pizza place in Queens and bring it for the birthday celebration. So, but for Baba's palate, for Baba's delicate stomach, pretty much, if I did cook, I wouldn't know what to bring. But I knew his lovers were pleased.
Tony, you're reading my mind. I was just gonna say I would bring Baba a pizza as well, but maybe like a couple pizzas, maybe one pizza. Like some pizza places have like unique pizzas, and maybe like a rice and dal pizza. Because some pizzas you could do anything. Some pizzas like have mashed potatoes in them. Like you could, the sky's the limit with pizzas. So like maybe I'll get him a rice and dal pizza. You never know. Maybe in India there's such thing as a rice and dal pizza. I mean, I
No,
bet
there
there
isn't. No. Never heard of that. I can't think of that combination.
Well, I mean, what don't you use the cheese and like tomato sauce and whatnot, but like you like use the pizza crust and then like rice and then dal like as a topping, and you never know. It might be good. There's like chicken pizzas. Just the thought, maybe that could be like a little business venture we could all get in together and start that.
Okay, Peter, you come down here and start it.
Got it. I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Great.
But let's see.
I have. Okay.
Yes, yeah. Go, Tony.
Well, the other thing that comes to mind, it's a subject where I've sparse pickings to offer, but for Baba's birthday celebration, just prior to the COVID lockdown becoming COVID and the lockdown becoming a big thing, for his birthday celebration, a few of us got together to make it happen, and for his birthday cake, we found an Indian woman who was a cake artist in my neighborhood, and it was a rather expensive cake, but it was like Baba's samadhi, and it had roses around it, and we described the samadhi and what it was for Baba's birthday, and she made tuberoses like there are in the samadhi, those little flowers, out of confectionery sugar. Sorry, buttercream frosting. See, my wife's the cook; she knows the words. So I did bring that. So that's one thing I would bring.
I have a recipe for cornbread that is one of the best cornbreads I've ever eaten. It's a homemade cornbread, not a mix. And you make it with kind of a coarse ground cornmeal and some yogurt and some milk and some honey. And I can't remember what else is in it, but it is delicious. It is the best. And it's very tasty and not, still very mild at the same time. I think Baba might like that. Cornbread, yes.
Or, all right. So anyone else have anything they'd like to share? What they would like to bring Baba? What beverage would you like to bring Baba? I mean, maybe Baba liked other beverages besides chai. Like, did he ever drink wine or whatnot? Or I think I did hear he did in Italy, or he fed people wine. I don't know if that's true. I think so. Like when he went to Portofino, where they're at, um, or
I know he liked 7 Up.
oh yeah, that, that's awesome. Maybe I would give him like some a flavored Seven Up.
7 Up.
Um, yeah,
That was
Seven Up. Maybe like because they have like flavored sodas.
right.
Yes, I see Marion has her hand up. Good evening, Marion from New York.
Hi.
Hi. Uh, you're you mute
Oh, here
or
I go.
yeah, there you
I'll
go.
I'll
Okay.
add my piece.
Yeah.
Inspired by all of you, I didn't have anything in mind really until I hear all of you, and it's so delightful. And since I am gluten-free, I would take a cake that I've learned to make that is made from cassava flour. That's a root flour. And so I would take my cassava cake to Baba and present it to him, and maybe suggest that Baba go gluten-free. That's supposed to be a joke. Okay.
That's pretty funny. That's awesome. Um, one thing I will give Baba is a song. This is just made up on the spot, improvised. When I was 7, I did go to India for my first time with my mom. It was November of 1988, and I don't remember a lot of that trip, but I did meet, of course, get to meet the Manjali that were living, and Mara was living, and I had like a toy plastic guitar at that time, which I played for Mara. I do sort of remember asking my mom like, "Hey, which one's Mara? Which one's Mara?" Because like I definitely want to meet Mara, and Mara told my mom at that point like when you bring Peter back to the States to make sure you and your husband get him guitar lessons, and she told me also never to give up guitar and music and to always stick with it. And I've been playing ever since '07, and now I'm 41. But this is just a little bit of a improv music from the heart to Baba and Mara. All right. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to share for
Hey,
tonight?
Baba.
Thank
Beautiful,
you.
beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful.
I'd
Appreciate
like to
it.
share a picture of that birthday cake, which I just found, if you can see it.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, it was is gorgeous work she did. It says "Happy Birthday, Mayor Baba," and it has the roses. We described the samadhi, and she tried to kind of model it after the samadhi.
Beautiful.
Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful, really.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I'm glad you have a picture.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. I was at that birthday celebration, really instigated by Tony. I'm forever grateful. It still brings tears to my eyes, the beauty of our being together. Thank you. Thank you.
It was the first thing that I felt I was Baba was prodding me to make this happen. I was just trying to get the other people at Baba House to do it, and they weren't doing it. And finally, I said to my wife, you know, I'm struggling with Baba over this. And she quoted Gandhi, and she said, I think you're going to need to be the change you want to see in the world. So, but it was the first time that, as far as I know, it was an experience with Baba was so joyful because it was clearly his wish that this thing happened. And so everything was just surrendering to his carrying out his wish. I've never quite had that same experience again. Yeah. And other people came together, a core group came together to really make it happen.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Well, seems like this is a really low chill key, uh, relaxing late night chat, which is good. It's like the perfect late night chat. I'll be honest, like I'm sort of on a high, but a good high. I just actually got back home this evening, and even after that, like saw my dog, walked him around the condo area where I live in, and then I wanted more of that group sort of contact, with some friends that are in town. I spent this past weekend on the spiritual center. We made it happen, of course, under COVID safety protocols, but we had a beautiful young adult sahavas, which was awesome.
Tell us, Peter. Tell us about it. Give us the
There,
highlight.
um, like for me personally, it was much needed. It's been since May of this past year since I got a stand center personally. Um, there were about 30 or so young adults that were there, from all over the country, and some people were new to the center and even new to Baba as well. And that was neat, getting to meet some new people, make some new contacts, reconnect with friends who I haven't seen in years. It was just a beautiful, heartfelt weekend of um, sharing, enjoying each other's company through music. We had a couple different discussion groups. The weather was actually beautiful for most of the weekend. Yes, that hurricane that hit Florida, I think it was Nicole, did hit Myrtle Beach, but it wasn't that bad at all. We had rain Thursday, heavy at times Thursday night, and then Friday, like just off and on rain, but it wasn't. We got really lucky. For the most part, it was beautiful. And even today, the weather started sort of cooling down. It felt like fall. I think tomorrow it's not going to get out of the 50s. Um, and it was just a great time that we all were able to connect. We heard stories. We had the honor of hearing Wendy Connor tell stories today to our
Oh,
group in the barn. I love, she's Wendy's one of my
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
storytellers. That would also, I doubt that Wendy's a late night person, though. That would be a good guest for
Uh-huh.
Jeff when he gets back. Maybe I'll suggest it to
Well,
him,
for
or
you
maybe
guys
if you did it
on your
pre-recorded.
Thursday night.
Yeah, I doubt that she's a late night person, but you never know. Maybe we could like pre-record a talk with Wendy. Maybe she'd be up to that. But I could hear the same story like 20, 30 times from her, which I'm sure I have, and it still sounds fresh, and you can feel the love. And I love. She's definitely one of my top five Baba storytellers. So easy to understand, and it was a treat today to hear stories from Wendy. And all in all, it was a beautiful weekend. I am glad I did it, and it was an honor to be a part of the planning committee and to help out with the event through the weekend. It looks like Peter has his hand up. Peter S. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Peter. With you saying that, I think Mara had said to stay with your music. I was gonna try and silent, but then I remember that there's a story in The Real Treasure that has to do with art and music. Would you be interested?
Yeah, yes, please.
All
If
right,
you would love to share it, oh, we would be very interested.
sure. Yeah, it's okay. The Real Treasure, Volume 3. And if you have a hard time hearing, let me know and I'll turn my video off. It's how music and art can lead you to God. says, a Baba lover once asked Erich, why is it that one can feel God's presence in music and art? Erich paused for a long time and said very slowly, music and art cannot make one feel God's presence. However, what it does in rare cases where the artist or musician is totally engrossed in the work, it makes one forget himself or herself completely. So I'm having a tough time breathing. Then the Lord is present, because one can say that when one is completely absent, one experiences his presence. On the other hand, if the artist or a musician, when creating the work, is thinking of nature, is thinking of name or fame, then the person's ego is present. If your false ego is present, then you cannot feel his presence. And the work created binds as much as any other work. So any work done with complete engrossment, where you forget yourself, makes you feel God's presence, and the whole experience can make you feel exhilarated. On the other hand, if you are constantly aware of what you are doing and you are thinking about your work, in quote, I'm doing such good work, end quote, or my work is better than everyone's, then this only strengthens the false ego and binds the soul further. Such work gives no sense of exhilaration, nor makes one feel his presence. Erich added further, so no matter what work you do, beware of your false ego asserting, the T asserting itself. You have to absent yourself from the work, and then he will be present. How do you do that? By doing the work for him. That is what one should do. Erich then proceeded to tell the story of Krishna Mast. Have you heard the story of Krishna Mast? There was a man who worked as a railway guard in northern India. He was a devotee of Lord Krishna, and he would frequently hold bhajans and kirtans, forgive me if I pronounce that wrong, singing the praises of his Lord. It so happened on one occasion that during one of these programs, he got so carried away by his favor, F-E-R-V-O-R, for his Lord, that he completely lost track of time. He completely forgot himself. In fact, he was not conscious of anything. After a long time had passed in this forgotten state, he regained his senses. He realized that he was late for his work. He worked as a railway guard, and the train he had supposed to accompany had been scheduled. Hold on. He worked as a railway guard, and the train he was supposed to accompany had been scheduled to leave hours ago. In his fever, he had lost all sense of time, and now that he had regained his senses, he was apprehensive because he knew he missed his train. He ran to the station. The station master was surprised to see the railway guard, and before he could say anything, the station master asked him, "What are you doing here? Is there something wrong with the train?" The guard couldn't understand what the station master meant. He said, "I don't know. I have forgotten here. I have just gotten here." At this, the station master looked startled and he exclaimed, "What are you talking about? You signed the register in front of me. We even had tea together and walked to the train and saw you depart." The guard was totally dazed and did not know what to say. He kept insisting that it could not have been him because he had just come at that moment. and that the station master had to be mistaken. At this, the station master took him and showed him the register, and sure enough, the guard's signature was there. The guard was shocked to see his name, and then all of a sudden he realized what had happened. While he had been lost in the fever and singing the Lord's praises, the Lord had taken his place and done his job for him. And in that instant, the guard became a left his job and started wandering from place to place, always taking the name of Krishna as he walked. Because of that, he became known as Krishnamast. And when Baba was in northern India, he wanted to find him. But the must was a restless soul, and it was difficult to find him. He kept wandering from one place to another, constantly writing his Lord's name wherever he went, in addition to taking his name. He would receive reports of him being in a particular locality, but by the time he reached there, he would have disappeared. On every wall of the locality, you would find the word Krishna written by him, but the must would no longer be there. So the Lord kept seeing his lover. So the Lord kept seeking his lover. The must and Baba both saw each other, and they ran into each other's embrace, and in the fever of the embrace, they both fell on the ground and kept rolling in the dust. What a sight it was to see the lover and the beloved both locked in a divine embrace. Erich took a deep sigh and said, "It was a sight for the heavens to see." Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, thank you for sharing, Peter.
Yeah, I have to read that a couple times to understand it again. I remember reading this story a long time ago, and it's a tongue twister.
That was lovely. Thank you for sharing. So just a little teaser for next week. If everything still goes as planned, which you never know about, sometimes things do fall apart the way we plan it, and other things happen that are meant to be. Jacob Horsey, who's an amazing singer, songwriter, musician, is going to be on Late Night Chat next week. And he's from Australia, lives in Australia. And he's going to be zooming on. He's going to be sharing some of his music, and we're going to be doing a little informal conversation interview, I guess you'd call it. And he's definitely open to questions, and we'll see where it goes from there. So that should be fun. And then that Sunday after that, in 2 weeks, Jeff will already be back, and he'll be on full control of this program as the captain. So I'm going to sign off. Betty, if you want to take over, or if you all want to relax and go to bed. Yep.
Can I ask you, what about, are you going to be with Margie when she comes back on?
Yes, I'm definitely going to be with Margie when she comes back. We'll do it Thursday evenings. It'll be an honor, Thursday at 10. And I'm not sure when that'll start. Like, she might even need some time, like with jet lag, and to get back to her daily routine when she gets back. I think she should be back actually in the next couple days. She should definitely be back before Jeff, but we will definitely email the list when about it and with info. So I'm really honored, and I love co-hosting with Margie. It's just fun.
So you have to drop off, Peter. Is that it?
Well, I am gonna, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. Sleep's important. Got to work tomorrow. Back in work mode in the center, and
Can I just
yeah.
quickly make on Tuesday nights starting in December, Vesta Clinton is going to come on Tuesday nights to tell her stories about living in Marizad with Mongolian.
Nice.
That's so
That's
there we'll have a
awesome.
Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Sunday going on.
There's gonna be endless programming on Zoom. At least it gets recorded and on YouTube, so that's awesome as well for all of us who like to watch it the next day or a couple days from that, or even like on a day when we have nothing to do or we're sick or snowed in or whatnot. We could watch amazing YouTube videos through Baba Zoom YouTube. So that's awesome. Angela is amazing, and look at what she started. It's been going on 2+ years now. So, right. All
All
right.
right.
Hope everybody has a wonderful night. J Baba, stay if you want. Talk to Betty. Talk to all yourselves, or
Yeah,
take
thank
a
you.
nice night and go sleep.
Thank
J
you. Thank
Baba,
you.
my pleasure.
Thank
You're
you,
Thank
Joe,
welcome.
you. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everyone.
everyone. Yeah.
Thank you, Jay Baba.
Bye, Baba.
Hey, Papa. I think we signing off now? Yeah. Jay Baba. Okay. Anybody else want to linger? Oh, yeah, Marion, what? Your hands up.
Okay. Um, in thinking about this for tonight, something came to me about what I would bring to Baba. And because I live in New York City and it's quite noisy here, I can walk down the street and I can sing any kind of song. I can say Baba's name real loud. Nobody even hardly hears me. There's so much noise going on. And so what I'm doing is what I thought I would do. And I feel the fear. So whoever, Peter, you're talking about that, and like the ego dissolving and having to become out in the open with Baba. And so one of my favorites is Ode to Joy. The end of Beethoven's Ninth. And so I say Baba's name to it, ba, 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 so I say that out loud. And so one of the things that I do, I thought I'd share tonight, and this is like unprecedented, me doing this. I'm going to read a couple of the lyrics from Ode to Joy. It's long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. And then I'm going to play on my harmonica what I play and blast out on the streets of New York City.
Okay.
So get ready. So, Ode to Joy, joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, God of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. And I'm going to skip down. Thou, our Father, Christ, our brother, all who love and live in love are thine. Teach us how to love each other. Lift us to the joy divine. And there's many more.
All right.
Wow. You are talented, girl.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Marianne. And I love the words.
Oh,
You play that so well. Wow.
wow. Yeah, impressive. That's what you do in New York. Boy, I don't think of New Yorkers as and that with
Well,
that.
I can get lost in the crowd. Otherwise, I'd be too self-conscious. Yeah.
Oh, do people smile at you, and are they encouraging? I would hope so.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Oh,
So that's why I feel like I feel a little more safer because I'm not performing and whatever. And I can sit on a rock in Central Park and play, and nobody really pays much attention. Yeah,
you play with some skill, Marion. Wow.
I played a long time. Yeah.
Wow.
Marion, you should play more often here on Zoom at least.
We should, yeah. I think I'm putting together a concert. Maybe we'll invite, a Thursday. You don't have, not alone. We just be on several.
Okay, maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah.
Okay, you're on.
Now, Marion, you read the words that went with the tune. Is that right?
What?
were you reading aloud the words that?
Yes, they were written in German, but this is the English, Ode to Joy. And it's sometimes, and so I read part of it, not every stanza, because it's kind of long.
Yeah.
That's what I read in the beginning. Yes. It's, it's joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of mercy, God of love, goes up and down and whatever. So it goes on and on. It's beautiful. It's online, you can read it. Yes, sing it.
Beautiful. Wow. You need to do that for Artie.
I wish I could sing it, but Francis Babazon used the tune to Meher Baba, Meher Baba, now we greet thee. I don't remember the lyrics, unfortunately, but it works very well. Francis put it together, the tune and his words but Baba.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know that one? Do you know that song?
No, I don't. I just make up my own. I say, Baba, Baba, we adore thee. God. And then I.
Meher Baba, beloved Baba, now we da, 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 da. Now we sing our open our hearts, something like that. And there's a lot to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a perfect song. Yeah.
Probably Debbie would know that, or Ward Parks, maybe. Ralph, what do you think?
Rainy. I'm sure she has it.
Rainy. Oh.
Who has it?
Rainy.
Oh, Rainy. She probably does.
Rainy.
She probably does. Yes.
Oh.
I'll ask her. Yeah.
Oh.
I've heard Ode to Joy many, many times, but with the choral, I've never really been able to catch the words or paid attention to it. But now I'm definitely going to look it up online. They're beautiful. Thank you, Marion.
Well, anybody else? Or shall we call it quits? Beautiful.
We could sing, if you tell me the words, Betty, I'll sing. What was the song? Meher Baba Godman. Meher Baba Godman. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba Godman. God man.
He's here. He's
Yeah.
found every.
He is here. He is there. His house is everywhere. Meher Baba, and where I am not, you are always found there. Baba, Baba. Hey, we're getting pretty good, Betty.
I think we need a book. One of Bocce's
Beethoven. Now I'm trying to remember the real tune. Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God man.
He's
Meher Baba, Meher Baba, Meher Baba, God man. God man, God man, God man, God man. Well, Beethoven keeps creeping it, blowing me off.
You got Joy on the brain.
He must have run at the wall. Yeah. I'll quit. Well,
All right, well, let's put it on the back burner. Maybe we can work on it. Okay, I should leave. I think. Can we? Good night, all.
Night. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
That was a spectacular send-off, Marion. Wow. Whoa, we gotta hear more of that harmonica.
Okay, all right.
We need Miriam to play the harmonica. She's bailed out. All right.
Say Baba Niku. Say Baba.